Time is strange. It almost feels like the more you think you know how time works, the more you realize you have no fucking idea how time truly affects you. Yeah. We know all the science behind time. We know how to keep track of it, and we know how to use clocks and calendars. But that shit only covers the surface of what can only be described as a mind-blowing time fuck of time. Sorry for all the cursing, but I don't have time to be PG about this. Time is some serious shit that affects us all, and our time is precious. As a human, we're pretty fortunate to have an average life expectancy of 78 years. That's a fuckload of time. That's 936 months, or 3,744 weeks, or 26,208 days, or 628,992 hours, or 37,739,520 seconds. That's way better than a mayfly, which only has a 24-hour life expectancy. So be fucking grateful. However, time is more perspective based than one might think. Everyone and everything feels, and that's the key word, feels, passing of time differently. For all we know, that mayfly that flew into your garden the other day may have felt like his life was lasting way too long and just wanted to die. Said, "Peace out world, I'm out of here." But you might feel like time is going by too quickly. Do you ever feel like it's speeding up as you age? Well, you're definitely not alone. Do you remember your childhood? Do you remember from the ages of 4 to 8 how it felt like it would take forever to finish your school and begin your adult life? The days felt long as fuck, and so did each school semester. The only good thing was summer break felt long too, so there's that. From 4 years old to 8 years old, we've doubled our lives, and in that era, time hit differently. Ah, the good old days where we're oblivious to time. The next era, from 8 years old to 16 years old, we start to notice time acting a little sus. The school years start flying by, and before we know it, we are practically done with our childhood. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. The older we get, the more time begins to snowball out of control. Years feel like a few months. A month feels like a week, and the days all blur together. This is similar to how the weather app will tell us it's 80 degrees outside, but it feels like 90. We know a year went by, but it only felt like a few months. Before you know it, things have changed around you. For instance, do you remember picking out a movie from your local Blockbuster? Do you remember what the first video game you ever played was? Do you remember what smaller sized shoes feel like? And on a more serious note, do you remember the last conversation you had with a loved one who passed away? Do you remember how many years it's been now? Do you still remember them clearly? Or is your memory of them a little bit foggy? All you have of them now is their history. You pass on their history and hope it doesn't get forgotten by time. You too will become history, and I hope for your sake you'll have someone who gives enough of a fuck to pass it on. However, it is inevitable that you will be forgotten. Time is the ultimate eraser of previous time creations. Even the most famous among us will be forgotten within time. But how could that be? Our technology is super advanced, and we will preserve our vast wealth of past historical events. Well, let me ask you one question. Is it advanced enough to prevent our extinction? There is literally an infinite amount of ways our species could be wiped from existence. And I'm sure, given enough time, we will face that grim future. Now, no one knows when that day will come. It could happen tomorrow, or maybe 3 billion years from now. It's best not to worry about it though. But all time has its time, and it'll be patiently waiting to see what becomes of our species and what inevitably poofs us from existence. But you shouldn't care about this anyway. You'll be long dead already. And who knows if you'll even make it to the average life expectancy of 78 years. You could literally die tomorrow. Maybe you get in a car accident. Or maybe you just die in your sleep because of some heart condition you didn't even know you had. Time will win, and you will lose. So live your best life. Break out of your routine. Call a loved one, and tell them how much you love them. And if they ask you, what's gone into you all of a sudden? Send them a link to this video. Anyway, I gotta go. I've wasted enough time on this. Hopefully I didn't waste your time. And if you have a little extra time, please subscribe.